This is not a knife fighting course. This is a knife self-defense course. I got military grade knife self-defense so you don't have to, or so you can know if you want to. And I did not expect to have to use what I learned only a week after my class. Why did I take this course? I just have always had this dream of not being stabbed or raped or mugged or damaged in some other way. So this course sounded perfect for that dream. Also, knives, I think, are a lot more practical in terms of being overseas, just in general self-defense. So I've always leaned towards knives in my zero amount of training that I have. But my strengths coming into this, I would say, are overconfidence, ignorance, and a YMCA Taekwondo class that I took in the 3rd grade. So basically nothing, which makes my weaknesses basically everything. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm the least qualified person in this class by far. And I'm also really uncoordinated. For a frame of reference, here is my starting point before taking the class. I had my husband act as a knife attacker. This is our knife.
Oh, there's 2 of it. It's 2 on 1. What's my goal? Just like
Stab me?
bring you down. What? You want me to have the knife?
I mean, it's not an assassin course, so I'm not.
Oh.
There's my fingers gone.
Seriously.
So what is the class that I took? I took the Edged Weapons course from Gunsite, which is a super legit course at a world-class training facility here in Arizona. Coincidentally, only about 30 minutes from me, which is maybe one of the only things to do in this retirement town. That can probably be cut. Most of the students that take these courses are active or retired military, law enforcement, private security, or some other government role. I was the only photographer there, for sure. You do have to apply for the class, and you have to present either a background check or some form of law enforcement or military ID. I have neither, so I got a background check. The course is 2 days long and costs about $850 plus whatever cost for the background check. This is not a knife fighting course. This is a knife self-defense course, specifically an edged weapons self-defense course. And as it turns out, those are all very different things. There's a whole world of knife martial arts that I am totally ignorant to, or was before this class, and this is not that. This is defending against edged weapons, which encompasses more than just knives. It's also things that can be used like a knife, like pickaxes, screwdrivers, bayonets, machetes, a sharpened broom, rocks. You name it. So that's what we were defending against, in addition to knives. All right, wish me luck.
Mm-hmm.
Have a nice day.
You did.
Love you. Day 1 of class starts inside in a typical classroom environment. And the first thing that they start off with is teaching something that they call prefense, which is preventative defense. So how to de-escalate, avoid, and prevent being in a knife fight in the first place. So we spent probably a couple hours talking about that. And then they also went through some pretty graphic crime scene photos of people that had been in knife fights. Some people survived and some did not. But that really just kind of brought to light how heavy what we were going to be dealing with was, and just the severity of actually being in a knife fight. Because one thing that they continued to drive home was, statistically, if you are in a knife fight, you're going to get cut. It's not a matter of trying to not get cut. It's a matter of trying to minimize your injury and to get away as quickly as possible. But that's something you kind of almost have to accept going into a knife fight, is you are going to get cut. So from the classroom setting, we moved outside, and almost all the rest of the class was hand-to-hand practice. So between the 2 days, I would say most of the training was split into 2 different categories. The first day being how to defend against a knife attack when you do have a knife, and then the second day was how to defend against one when you don't have a knife. So there was all kinds of things that were encompassed in that, but we talked about balance and proper form and how to position yourself. But most of what we did was blocking, striking, and just drills. Like, if you were watching from the outside, it might not look that intricate or complicated, but that's what we did. We did hours and hours of drills. So we were shown a wide range of different ways that we could block, or I think they called it to parry, and how to remove ourselves from an altercation that had already happened. And then we were kind of like, we practiced all of them and then picked what felt most natural for each of us, depending on our height and just how each of us move. And then we kind of narrowed it down to a few specific things, and then we drilled those things over and over and over. So you really get kind of a customized training in that sense. Like you find what is most natural for you. During the breaks as well, our instructor would kind of work with us depending on what we were interested in, or just like, I don't know, just sprinkle in some fun stuff. And he also brought probably 20 or 30 different types of knives, and he brought several different karambits, and so I was kind of playing with those during the break, and he pulled me aside and showed me what he called, I think he called it a detainting technique. So that's what this is. Am I doing that right?
Perfect.
The course had structure, but it was also customized to what we individually wanted or needed from the class as much as could be. So by the end of the 2 days, I was genuinely swollen and bruised. My arms did get pretty swollen yesterday just from blocking, being stabbed, and just throughout all the different fighting techniques. I don't know how well it will show up. My middle finger is pretty swollen and it's all red. My arm has like an arch in it from the bump. So like right here, I had my watch on, so it kind of protected me. And like from here on, a little bit on this arm. Maybe the front facing one. Yeah, that's from holding and flipping the knife, particularly the karambit. And then there's my arm. Kind of see it on my wrist a little. Things I took away from the course. One of the biggest things I took away was just the overall environment of who you're with and who the instructors are. So I was not training at the YMCA or at some church group on a Tuesday night. I mean, our class was law enforcement, military. We had an ex-DEA agent who had done security for embassies all around the world. We had people that worked in the prison systems. Our instructor, I'm pretty sure, was Jason Bourne. And I was a photographer. So for me, it was a fantastic environment in terms of learning. And so much of the class is being paired up with people and then cycling partners, that when else is someone like me going to be able to practice knife self-defense with an ex-DEA embassy security person? And like, I was able to learn so much from the people that were there with me learning, that like that was just as beneficial as any other part of the class. So it's a really cool learning environment as well. I would also say we learned a lot in the class about when to run in a fight and when to take action. And I feel so much more confidence in those hypothetical scenarios. The idea of once you are in a knife fight and you can't get out, to not back down, like to be aggressive, is something that like made sense in my mind, but it's different to actually apply that when someone is coming at you, even with a fake knife. So that was a big takeaway. Also, a lot of what we were taught, we were strongly asked to not share outside of the class due to how effective the techniques were. Like, a lot of these techniques are designed and taught, so in their words, to fight the bad guys. And like, it's not something you want out on the streets. So in respect for that, there is a lot that I will be leaving out of the class, but there's some really effective stuff out there that I would not want to be up against, and I feel more at peace having had this training. About halfway through the course, I was starting to wonder if it was going to be worth the money that I paid for it. Like, so much of what we were doing was just these really repetitive, kind of basic feeling drills, like a lot of just like blocking like this or moving an arm like that, like 200 times. And it just made me wonder if it wasn't worth the money. But towards the end of the second day, we were able to put all of those drills together. So what we were learning did kind of build on each previous thing in a way that I couldn't really see until I was partnered with this big guy. And we took turns being an attacker and being a victim. And we were then instructed to use everything that we had learned. And I'm not kidding, it was like the Karate Kid. Like everything came together in a way that like I didn't know I could do that. Like at the beginning of this exercise, I was the attacker for my partner. And part of what was really interesting was like I tried to stab him every way that I know how to stab, and in every direction, and like slashing and stabbing, and it didn't matter. Like he was able to get out of the situation with what we had learned, kind of regardless of what I did. And to me, that was kind of solidifying of like, oh no, this is actually really effective. We switched turns and then it was my turn, and I was not as good as he was, but I was able to get out of everything. And if it were a real fight, at the very least, I would have been able to buy myself a decent bit of critical time, if not totally escape. So I didn't really have any specific goals going into this class, but I wasn't expecting that necessarily. So finally, the part that I did not expect happened 1 week after this class. I emailed my instructor kind of giving an overview of the situation that happened, so I think it would maybe be best for me to just read word for word what I sent him. I wrote, "Hi Steve, I unexpectedly got to use some of the training that you taught from the Edged Weapons course already, and probably not in a way that you normally hear about from your students. I will make this as professional as I can. It was probably 1 week after class finished, and my sister-in-law was to the right of me, when she decided to buttercup me, in parentheses. If you have been spared such an attack and are unfamiliar, it is cupped flatulence in one's hand, secured at the source, ready to deploy at will. I was not expecting it, but as her hand came near my face in a quick striking motion, my immediate reflex was the very same blocking motion that we practiced. But it also ended with a disarm near her face, resulting in a face shot with her very own ammunition. Comical, most certainly. But I mostly share that to say I was pleased that I did not think as I was executing this act of self-defense, but it was complete muscle memory. Not what the training was intended for, but effective nonetheless." This is a true story. And I mostly share that because I was really excited that it was complete muscle memory, even though it was a fart and not a knife. But like from my side periphery, I saw a hand coming at me, and my first immediate motion was the very same blocking motion that we had learned in class. So no, I was not in a knife fight, but I did get to see evidence that the training that I got worked. So I bet that's the only email they've gotten like that. But if it works, it works. So as promised, here's my full after video. Also fighting my husband. Show us your weapon of choice.
Joe, you're a knife? Okay, never mind. I'm out.
Oh, sweet!
Okay, need to prepare. Dang, that works.
So fun fact,
Yeah.
if you can hold on to it, chair beats knife every time. So my final thoughts are, you will not gain mastery from taking this course, or probably from any 2-day course. But with this course, you will gain a lot for 2 days. And I would also be really cautious where you do select your training from. I highly recommend Gunsite and everything I found from them with and outside of this course. But there are also a lot of garbage training materials online and in person. And there are a lot of hotheads that think they know what they're doing, and you can really screw yourself over by learning the wrong techniques. So I'm a big proponent of trying to learn things on your own, but I would be pretty cautious or just selective as to what you ingrain in yourself in terms of self-defense. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like always, I am not your tutorial. I am just your test dummy here to try everything. If I missed something, please make the comment section a place of learning and share what experience you have. And let me know what projects you'd like to see next.